Okay, here we are for round 3. Let's take a real quick look at the opponent's deck. And let's see if we can find it. So he is blue-white. Hopefully we'll see some tricks here. He's got an Azure Mage. Okay, main deck Harbor Serpent. Does have a Mind Control. And a Spirit Mantle. And this hand is fine. Hopefully we can get Gideon into play. So he's got Mind Control, Spirit Mantle, and a Tapper. Hopefully we can pick up a Sorin's Thirst here, or something like that. And there's a pretty high chance we're going to Doomblade one of his first creatures, just so we can, not get behind on the life race. Okay, and he's got a Rock Egg. At this point, yeah, not too worried. We could Doomblade the Vanguard, but don't really see a reason to do that, so we'll just sit. Now we can go ahead and drop the Reaper, or actually we can just drop Pegasus here, trade, and then use the Reaper. Yeah, so at this point I'm just going to drop Pegasus. So he's definitely pretty fast out of the gates here. Just going to replay the Pegasus. Most likely end up Doomblading here so we can have an open path for Gideon. And I guess without any other creatures, there's no reason to. You just continue to drop Pegasus. Otherwise, here we can just drop the Reaper and then start recurring. Alright, so he's got the Mind Control, which is pretty big game here. Okay, so now we are in kind of a little bit of trouble. Going to be able to start, or he can't actually make the zombies, thank God. We can just go ahead and drop Pegasus and Empire here. We are getting down pretty low, but I think, like this way, if we don't draw a land, we can tap down his guy. What we could do, we could just Doomblade the creature and then block here. But I think, well, let's see here. So if we draw land, we want to Doomblade whatever he plays next turn. So I think that it's actually, I'm going to just leave Doomblade up here. This way, if we can get our Gravedigger online, we can pick him back up. And he's got a Serpent, sure. So now we can Doomblade the Serpent. Hopefully get Gideon online soon. Drop the Crown. So now we've got Gideon. Then we can start dropping down our Griffin, putting on the Greatsword, giving ourselves all kinds of options. So at this point, we're just going to go ahead and drop down Griffin. If that resolves, we'll go ahead and push out with the other land, and then, or we could even save the land for Smallpox. But I don't think we need to. I think having extra land will definitely help. So we'll see what he does here. He does have the pacifism, okay. So it might have potentially been better to save the land there just in case we needed the Smallpox. Didn't think of pacifism as an option, but definitely was. Okay, so here we can just drop Outcasts, get Sword online next turn. Ideally we want to get the Bloodthirst, but what is our play here? If we Smallpox, no, we haven't got the extra land. We could tap down his Rock Egg and then bash in for 6 and play the... That actually seems better. We don't have enough. We do have just enough mana. Okay, so that works. If he has the bounce, we're kind of in a bad place, but I think this is worth a shot. Okay, so now we can just tap his rock egg down, bashing with vampires, or we can just force him to attack Gideon. He will most likely just tap our vampires though. And we are at 6, so we probably want to gain the life at this point. So I think what we're just going to do is we're just going to drop Greatsword, equip Vampire. Or no, we don't have enough mana for that. No, I think we just tap the Rock Egg, get in with Vampires, and drop Warpath Ghoul. Yeah. Like, we are going to go to 10, so I mean, I suppose what we could also do is we could just attack with Gideon also. We attack with Gideon, like we swing for 10. Then he's a tapper. No, I think we want to lock his creatures down. Like, we could also just drop Greatsword and equip it onto our vampires next turn, after tapping the rock, forcing everybody to attack. That actually may not be the worst play either. I mean, having the ghouls is fine, just because it forces the Lawkeeper to tap. I mean, he's going to have to attack anyways, so... Not sure which one of these I want to play, actually. I mean, they're both solid options. I think Warpath Ghoul is slightly more resilient to bounce, though. Okay, so now we can Smallpox. We get the rock out there then. I think here we just drop down Ghoul, force him to attack. He's going to tap our Ghoul. We'll trade with one of his other creatures here. Otherwise, what we could do here, we could tap the Rock Egg, activate Gideon, bash for 10. He has to block. It's actually not a bad play. And he won't even have enough to kill Gideon next turn, so I think that's actually the play here. We could also just kill the tapper, but I think this is actually a more aggressive play. At this point, maybe he has Fireball. Most likely he has Fireball at this point. Yep, he's got the Fireball. So now basically just we end of turn tap his Gideon's Lawkeeper, and then next turn attack with both our guys and tap the Rock Egg. Drop these two this turn. I think that's fine. Let's see, 3, 6, 8. not quite enough to do all three. So we just play this and tap this turn. Yeah, seems fine. Okay, so now we've got the ring flesh for the Lawkeeper. Here we can tap down his rock egg, and then let's see. If we tap the rock egg, we could even like ring flesh this guy, bash in for 7. I think that's game. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So going into game 2, blue-white splash red. He has the mind control. He definitely has a tapper. We could look at potentially putting together the Brink of Disaster Oromancer Gideon combo. You know, I mean, it's also fairly relevant if against tappers, if he does have, like, you know, multiple Law Keepers. Like, Brink of Disaster is not an amazing card by any stretch of the imagination, but when you're up against tappers, it's actually not a bad sideboard card. You know, he has the 3/3 flyer, so I think that, you know, our Warpath Ghouls are definitely pretty helpful. Has some guys on the ground. Most of his guys on the ground are 2 power, though, so I think our Rock Egg is actually pretty weak against him. We can bring in potentially like an Oromancer to help out. Okay, so here we are. We did take out the Smallpox and just replace it with the Oromancer. I think it might be a little bit better for us since he has the Rock Egg himself. Like, Bring a Disaster is actually, I mean, it's absolutely fine on a Lawkeeper. It makes Lawkeeper much worse. Or like a Luring Siren. Here I think we're just going to drop the Bloodseeker, then drop the Pegasus. Like, we could be bashing, but we want to get the life points out of the Bloodseeker. I mean, it's debatable if you want to drop down Pegasus or Bloodseeker here. We could drop another Bloodseeker here, but I think we're just going to drop the Warpath Ghoul. So now we're happy to trade. We're going to use stave off to knock out the Griffin, and then hopefully set up the Brig Disaster. Could just pro white here, but it's pretty pointless. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and brink up his Lawkeeper. We can just trade the Seeker for the Vanguard and Stormfront for the Griffin. So he's got the Fireball for both creatures now, apparently. Okay. Gonna need some answers for the Griffin pretty soon. There we go. So here we're just gonna lay down both of these threats, so we can just block both, keep the damage off us, then hopefully get Cemetery Reaper going to work. He has another Fireball here. He could just get us next turn. Hopefully not. Like potentially Lava Axe. We will see. But now we can drop Reaper with the stave off backup. And here he does have more flyers, so it might be a better idea to keep the Stormfront Pegasus alive than the Reaper. So I think it's probably a good idea to use the stave off at this point. Just because we're at such low life. So now we need a Doomblade. We're in a pretty rough spot against the Sphinx. At this point we need to drop the Greatsword so that next turn we can block the Sphinx. If he has mind control, he just gets us, unfortunately, but chance we gotta take. Aether Adept will also work. So now we're just trying to hang on with our Pegasus, hoping to have a chance to just block. And the unsummon will unfortunately seal it. Okay, so lots of bounce. Great sword, not the best, but we do need it to take out his flyers. What else could we change around here? I think we're pretty much set for what we need. We just need to draw well. Hand is fine if we can get a white source or another land. And there's the customary turn 1 Seeker, or a turn 1 Lawkeeper. So like here, I mean, we could drop Manolith, but I think we just want to drop Warpath Cool and start bashing. We'll happily trade for his Griffin Rider. You do not want to see that thing turn into a 4/4. Here I think we just drop Reaper. He's going to tap our guy anyways, but it's fine. I think we attack, so we have to tap down his mana so that, oh, I guess he wants to mana leak us. So since he's got the mana leak, let's give him a different target. So now we're happy to start just making guys, and we can eventually stave off our pacifism and start bashing in. And he can keep bouncing our guys, we don't really care. If we get a chance to set up a turn where he attacks with his Lawkeeper and we have white mana open, we could just like stave off and then block, which would be hilarious. But I think we need to get this guy back online. So now if like he bounces our Cemetery Reaper and attacks, we just pro white and get him. Oh, that's even better. Okay, sure. Alright, so he's got the pro blue. I guess we just stave off. Make him use the Lawkeeper this turn. So at this point, I think we just, like we could make guys here, but we just want to bash and activate vampires. And then just leave Doomblade up. We were almost certainly going to Doomblade his Gideon's Lawkeeper here. Like, I don't think there's anything he could play. We don't want the counterspell to happen, so I think we just... Well... We want him to waste his mana thinking he has to tap it, then end of turn, use the Doomblade. I think we hang on to the Doomblade here. Double Ice Cage. Okay. Greatsword is going to be pretty good when we get it. If we draw it, of course. Really hoping to not see Mind Control. Rock Egg. Yeah, Rock Egg's definitely annoying, but we certainly can race it. And we are drawing spectacularly well here. Just need to get some action. So he still has 3 cards in hand. Hasn't played the lands, he's got all gas. Most likely holding Mind Control would be my guess. Or like Fireball potentially. Alright. We don't really want to trade vampires for Aether Adept, but we stand to just get 3 turn clocked if we don't. Problem is, like, if he has Mind Control, it's so much worse. What can we draw? We can draw Greatsword that makes Vampire better. If he drops Mind Control, I think we just lose. What else can we draw? Crown. Okay, so... Ring Flesh. We have a few cards we can draw that makes our play better. I think we have to... This is an interesting play. I'm not sure if it's better to attack here or not. If we kill this guy, he has Mind Control. Like, he can still take our guys. I think we have to not attack here. It may have been incorrect attacking into his Rock Egg. That might have been foolish. He does have the Mind Control. Okay. Yeah, so that was probably wrong. It's hard to know, though, is the problem. We have cards we could draw that would change the outcome considerably. I think, unfortunately, we are still just dead here. Like, we could Brink of Disaster our Reaper to get the Ice Cage off it, make a zombie, block a guy, and still take too much, and unfortunately that's it. So unfortunately, guys, at this point, we are... I mean, we had a round 1 bye, and not doing too well here, unfortunately. We are now 1-2, so basically at this point we would need to win out to win any prizes. I mean, we could go like 7-3 to make 3 packs. If we win out, we might potentially get 6, but we're still facing another 7 rounds of play, and I think at this point, guys, we are done. So unfortunately, it didn't quite work out, but we'll see you next time.